Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Molly. A couple of days ago, Emma Chamberlain brought out one of her podcasts where she was talking about quitting YouTube or leaving YouTube for an extended period of time. In the podcast, she actually says that she's not going to be uploading for a while. She said it could be a day, it could be a few weeks, it could be even a few years. This is something that we see so often with YouTubers when they hit a peak, and it's often put down to YouTubers thinking that they've outgrown YouTube, which annoys people quite a bit because there's so many people, me included, who would love to have a job as a full-time YouTuber, a full-time content creator, and seeing people who've made it then kind of make the money and leave can really be frustrating for the viewer who spent so much of their time and money. And at the end of the day, time is the most precious thing a person can spend. We only get so much of it, we can't make any more of it. So I can understand why people get annoyed. With Emma though, and I think with a couple of other creators that we've seen, I don't think it's necessarily saying don't care about this anymore, you've helped me get to where I am and that's enough. I think it is a bigger problem. If you are a YouTuber, you're a full-time content creator, you are your own boss, which is what a lot of us want. A lot of us want to be our own boss. We don't want to be working to the constraints of 9 to 5 with somebody telling us what we can and can't do. The issue is that when you are your own boss, you have to set your own limits, your own timescales. You need to give yourself holidays, breaks. And what we're hearing is that YouTube doesn't really give people the space to do that once they make it. We're always told, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you have to be consistent, you have to upload regularly, because that's how you make the algorithm pick up on you. If you stop uploading for X amount of days or X amount of weeks, then your next video is not going to do as well. And when you're trying to reach the top, that's just something that you can't do. You can't take a break because you want to make it. But then when you do make it, then there's the added pressure of, if you upload once a week, there's people relying on you to upload. You've got fans and followers waiting for that video. If you get to a certain point and you're doing well, you don't want to then drop back down by taking a week or two off. You don't want to mess up the algorithm. You don't want to lose your views. You don't want to lose the money that you're making from the views, from AdSense and ad revenue. When does it stop? And I think that's why a lot of people like Emma work. They finally get to the peak. They ride that peak for a while and then they just crash and just burn out. And we see it so much, not just in YouTube, but in big companies or corporations, or that job that you really don't like, but you're always just working to get to a point where you are going to be comfortable. But when does that point happen? And once you get to that point, are you able to give yourself the break that you need? Because if you are working up in a company and so you are starting off at the bottom and you want to make it to the top because you want to have enough money to support your family or just enjoy your life, when does it get to the point where you've worked yourself so hard to get to the top, but when you reach that top, you have that break? And I think YouTube highlights it massively because of, as I said before, needing to police yourself, basically needing to give yourself the holidays. You don't have any rights. If you are working as a full-time YouTuber, the only person that's going to give you holiday or give you a break is you. And sometimes you can't be trusted because you're always just trying to work as hard as possible. Nobody is going to say to you, you need to take these 2 weeks off, or you need to take this break, you need to finish the day at this time because you are going to burn out. You have to do it yourself. And we live in such a fast-paced environment now where people are becoming TikTok famous, Instagram famous, making major money even while they're still in school or they've only just left school. And we're forgetting to teach the importance of taking a break, because the importance of being your own boss and making it and being business savvy is so prominent now, because we've got the tools like YouTube, we've got the tools like Instagram. People can teach each other, people can have been able to see more of what is available to achieve. But the issue is, we're forgetting about well-being, we're forgetting about our mental health, we're forgetting about so much. And I know sometimes when bigger YouTubers or people that have already made it say this, it can come from, they're coming from the right place and the points are still the same, but it can be difficult to listen to them because they're coming from, at the end of the day, a privileged place. They've made it, they've got the money, they are now financially okay, they can take that break, they can take that rest, but the point is still the same. And I think a lot of the time we forget that YouTubers are still people, and getting up every single day and needing to create content that people are going to want to watch, create content where you're happy, you're enjoying yourself. You can't necessarily feel how you want to feel on camera, because people want to look and watch upbeat people. They want to watch people doing things that they're enjoying. They want to see something exciting. Nobody would watch you if you just cried in your room every single day for 6 months straight, because that's not going to make the watcher feel good. So there's a pressure that comes with YouTube that I think people forget. And what makes it more difficult, I think, for YouTubers is that they have all of this pressure, and it's all on them. It's all on them to succeed. It's all on them to push themselves. It's all on them to make the money, to make the content, to be happy, to not make any mistakes, to be a role model. But on the flip side, they have people telling them, not everybody, but they have people telling them, it's not a real job, get a real job, it's easy, you've got nothing to complain about, you have all the money in the world, why are you being so upset, why are you saying it's difficult, why are you saying it's hard? Everybody has things going on in their life, and we talk about this all of the time, and it's a massive topic, yet we forget when people, celebrities, YouTubers do need help, need support, or sad or angry or upset, make mistakes, we forget that they're people. And I think, yes, people tend to leave YouTube after, not everybody, but people tend to leave YouTube when they've been on it for quite a bit of time, they've seen the success and they've made the money. But if you were somebody who'd worked all your life, made enough money to retire, or you were lucky enough to get early retirement, so would you. It's just that with YouTube, that person has had that opportunity to do it sooner sometimes, and they want to follow things that make them happy or that are bringing them joy. Just because they're not getting joy from it anymore doesn't mean that they don't appreciate the success that they've had and the support from people. And it doesn't even mean that they've forgotten where they've come from. Some people do. Some people lose sight of where they've come from. Some people, especially when they've made it so young, have never had struggle, so struggle to understand it. But not everybody's like that, and I think we do need to be looking at people on YouTube as people. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't hold people accountable either, because I've held people accountable for things that they've done. There's a difference between a mistake and a choice, the difference between a mistake and a personality trait, a difference between a mistake and just being nasty or being misinformative, and over an extended period of time as well. But I don't think she's done anything wrong. I think that she is someone who worked extremely hard for a number of years and now is not getting any joy from it and just wants to see what else she can do with her life. She's young. She's made a lot of money, but she's made that herself, and she doesn't owe us anything, as much as she wouldn't be where she is now if it wasn't for her YouTube and her followers. It's the same way that so many celebrities get that one film that pushes them to the top, but they don't owe their entire life to the person who cast them. They can be appreciative of it, they don't have to be rude, but they don't have to choose everybody else's enjoyment at watching them over their own happiness, especially for someone so young. And I'm sure that she will come back to YouTube. She might not. I'm sure that she will, and I'm sure she'll come back with a frame of mind that is in a better place to create content that she enjoys. And surely if people care about it and they follow it, that's what people want to see anyway. Nobody wants to watch someone doing something that they don't want to do. And people get so angry at people when they say it feels like the heart's not in it anymore, they're not putting any effort in anymore. But then they'll also are quick to get annoyed when the person decides to leave because they don't want to make content like that. It's a fine line between loving someone and wanting them to do well, and just loving someone and wanting them to only loving someone because they're doing what you want them to do. So that was my take on it. I think we can all learn from Emma, and I know that, as I said, sometimes it can be difficult to relate because she is now in such a privileged place with money and opportunities, but we all need to look at what we're doing and the choices that we make every day, and we need to make a few more choices for ourselves. Being selfish is being something that's branded as a terrible thing since we were kids, and I do think it's an important thing that you need to learn children to share, to have empathy, to have humanity. But saying someone's selfish for looking after themselves and their own interest and their own happiness, and saying no to something if it's not going to bring them joy, or no to something that's going to upset them, or no to something they're too tired to do, isn't selfish. That's looking after themselves, that's self-care, that's well-being, and we all don't do enough of it. Most of us will say yes every day to at least one thing that we would rather not do, just because we don't want to be called selfish. Even if it's someone's asked you to go to a party and you're really tired, you really don't want to go, but you're going to just force yourself to go. And then you could even then get blamed for being miserable and bringing everybody else down. You would have been better off just staying at home and resting. It's not selfish, looking after your own well-being. And you can give more when you look after yourself anyway. And you can be more positive when you do things that positively affect you. So that was my opinion on the Emma Chamberlain quitting YouTube situation. What do you think? Do you have the same annoyed feelings when you see YouTubers complaining about how hard the job is? Do you agree with anything that I said? Do you disagree with anything that I said? Please feel free to discuss in the comments down below. If you don't agree with me, that's absolutely fine. All I ask is that we keep the comments kind. You don't have to agree with each other. Having a conversation, a discussion, a debate is absolutely fine, but no name calling, no pointless comments about people's appearance. Just keep it clean, nice, debate all you want. We don't need to agree, but we don't have to be hateful either. I hope you did enjoy this. As I say, it was just a kind of off the cuff video that I just wanted to talk about when I seen it. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please do like and subscribe, and wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, day or night, and I will see you again next time. Bye.